Conference final game threes continue in the NBA playoffs this weekend. Now it's the Western Conference turn. Timberwolves Mavericks game 3 tonight on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, TNT. And Minnesota's down 0-2. Can they get back on track and win on the road as they did quite often in Denver? Or does Dallas have their number? You know, Dallas came back from 18 points down in game 2. Minnesota looks fatigued. Anthony Edwards has not been a superstar so far. Will things turn here in game 3, or is it going to be Dallas once again? I've got full breakdown for this game. I'm going to let you know how to play side, total, player props. Make some money here on Sunday night. That information coming up free for you in just a moment. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Right back here on WagerTalk TV. Happy Memorial Day weekend once again to everybody out there, especially to the veterans that are currently serving and have served. And let's not forget what Memorial Day is all about, and that's remembering, memorializing those that made the ultimate sacrifice while in the line of duty. And that's why we're able to do these videos. We're able to talk sports, talk betting, have a beer and a barbecue with the family this weekend. So let's not forget all those brave troops and soldiers over the centuries, not just decades, but centuries that have made this country great. Hey, and for my international viewers out there, we're not leaving you out either. I know all of our allies out there. I've got many Canadian viewers, also a lot of Europeans, anywhere else around the world. Hey, comment below. If you're an international viewer, comment below. Love to hear from you. And of course, as we did yesterday on Saturday, if you're a veteran, current, active, or retired, please comment below so we can salute you and thank you as well for your service to this great nation. I do read all the comments, by the way, and I reply back. All right, let's look at game 3 here. Timberwolves, Mavericks, 8 o'clock Eastern. TNT, national TV, Sunday night. Yes, Dallas has won the first 2 games, but did you know Minnesota's had the biggest lead in both games 1 and 2? That's right. Timberwolves are 0-2. They've shot horrendous from the field. Their superstar Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns have not done much, and they still have had the biggest lead in both games. So there's 2 ways to look at this. Yes, Dallas could play better, but I think Minnesota could play a lot better as well. Minnesota had a 9-point lead in game 1. Dallas never led by more than 8. Dallas won by 3. Minnesota had an 18-point lead in the first half on Friday night. Dallas never led by more than 3 and won by a point with that late shot. I do think this is a bounce-back spot for Minnesota, and we do get a little bit of adjusted line value now as well. You know, normally teams down 0-2, as we saw with Indiana last night on Saturday, come out strong in the first half. Pacers were up by 12 at halftime. They were down by 1 in the first quarter, but they outscored them by 13 in the second quarter. Now, yes, Boston has a tendency to take their foot off the gas. We know teams that are shorthanded often outperform, and I did have a strong best bet on the Pacers first half for my clients at WagerTalk.com. By the way, our 4th straight best bet winner here in the conference finals. We are now 4-1, 80%. We missed with the Celtics in game 1, but we came back with the Celtics in game 2 as a strong best bet the other night. Had Pacers first half Saturday night last night, and also had the over in a couple of games between the Timberwolves and Mavericks. Yes, we've had the over in both games this series, and speaking of the total, let's look at it right now. I've obviously liked the over as best bets in games 1 and 2. I'm not going to suddenly jump on the under because of that. The question is there still line value? Odds makers are keeping this around 207. Same as game 1, same as game 2. Game 1 landed 213. Game 2 landed 217. I do rescore models, one based on normal percentages shooting. The games came out to 219, 223, and then based on pace and possessions, both games came out to exactly 217. Now that is using regular season stats only. As I've talked about here in the videos, Dallas has been a more efficient and a better defensive team since the February 8th trade that picked up P.J. Washington, more importantly, power forward Daniel Gafford. But even factoring in a much slower pace in the playoffs, I got around to 202 on the rescore, but that'd be an extreme adjustment. So once again, first 2 games went over, and the odds makers are keeping this total here at 207, 207.5 for game number 3. As far as the point spread, though, I mentioned teams down 0-2 normally bounce back in game 3. It's normally the home team, though. We saw Indiana get off to that strong start, easily covering the first half up by 12 at halftime last night. So you do have to wonder, does the Minnesota come out of the gate strong? Well, they're on the road, so the odds makers aren't making quite the same adjustment. Minnesota's about a 4 to 5 point home favorite in games 1 and 2. Now they're a 2.5 point dog in game 3, so not much of an adjustment here for the T-Wolves. 2.5 for the game, 1 for the first half, so it's almost a fair first half line as well. I would expect Minnesota to play better here. Don't know if they'll get off to the fast start or not, because keep in mind they were down by 20 against Denver in the second half of game 7 last week. But Minnesota won 3 of those 4 playoff games at Denver. They've now gone 5-1 straight up on the road so far in the NBA playoffs. Yes, they're a young and inexperienced team, but they've been a very good road team, and they are still the most defensive efficient team in the league this season. So this does have the makings of a bounce-back spot for Minnesota. They only shot 43 and 41% in the first 2 games. Dallas shot 49% in both games, and Dallas only won by 3 and 1 point. Different ways to look at it. Minnesota didn't shoot well. Yes, they looked fatigued, which I think makes sense. Once again, they're coming off the altitude in Game 7 in Denver. Looked fatigued in Game 1, but they had an 18-point lead in Game 2. I think they took their foot off the gas. They didn't make the adjustments or stay with the adjustments. They had a 10 free throw attempt edge, 1 in Game 1, 10 in Game 2. They're getting to the line more, and the 3-point shots were equal in Game 2, unlike Game 1, which Minnesota really relied on. So T-Wolves are still a live dog in this series. I'm not going to call for them to win 4 of the next 5. And by the way, the adjusted series price, Minnesota was minus 180 when it started. They were plus 150 or so last game. Now they're plus 400. Dallas is minus 550. Minnesota does have to win 4 out of 5, but I think they can get it done here in Game 3 tonight on Sunday. Hey, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this game. Side, total, player props. What are you looking at in Game 3 tonight on Sunday? I read all the comments. I reply back. Also, thumbs up, like goes a great way keeping content free and plentiful here on WagerTalk TV. It really does matter. Take half a second right now. Click that thumbs up, like. Boom, you did it. It's appreciated. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if you're not already part of the 153,000+ members of our WagerTalk TV family, click subscribe and join for free. And hit the bell as well. When you click that bell, you get an instant alert when these videos go up each and every day. I've broken down every playoff game every day this postseason, and I will continue to do so if you find it useful. If you're watching, if you're giving it a thumbs up, if you're commenting below, I will keep doing it. And so hit that bell for an instant alert when these videos go up each and every morning here on WagerTalk TV. Yes, it's Memorial Day weekend, waving the flag, but I'll keep doing the videos. I'm working every day this weekend. And once again, if you are active, current, or retired military veteran, please let us know below so we can thank you personally here this Memorial Day weekend. Let's look at some player props in a moment. Just a quick reminder, we are red hot in the NBA playoffs. As I mentioned, we cashed again last night on Saturday. 4 straight winners here in the conference finals, now 4-1, 80% overall. And I'm number 1 this season in the NBA and number 1 all time in units won in the NBA sides and totals combined. So it shouldn't be a surprise that we're red hot and we're continuing to win this NBA postseason. If you'd like to get my best bets on a daily basis, I post them on my page every day at WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get my personal best bets on a 75% run this week on baseball and basketball combined. And just 2 days remaining to get the rest of May free when you sign up for June. Once again, buy in all sports for June or the 3-month summer special, and you get the rest of May free. You missed a winner last night. You missed a winner the night before. So why wait any longer? Get the final days of May free when you sign up for June right now. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And oh, by the way, I post a free play each and every day. We missed yesterday's free play, but we're still hitting 65% this month on free plays. Let's put this in perspective. Free plays are the last cut from my best bet service. They're games that are just a bit outside from making the cut. So yes, they're strong opinions because I'm very selective. I have maybe 1, 2, or 3 best bets a day for my clients. So yeah, that last cut is pretty good, and it's at 65% this season, even with missing yesterday's free play on Saturday. Check out the daily free plays. It's a great way to build your bankroll, especially for those of you that are new sports bettors or have a small bankroll. Build that bankroll with the free plays, and then when you're ready, you can buy the best bets and get my strongest plays. WagerTalk.com. Steve Merril. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. On the way out here, let's look at some player props here for game number 3 Sunday night. As I mentioned, I do expect Minnesota to shoot better. Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns both have not played well. Yes, Edwards has looked tired at times. What is he, 22 years old? I think he bounces back, so would be a good reason to play Edwards over. I've had the over in the first 2 games with points, so I'm not afraid to play some overs here. And Minnesota is the better defensive team, so I think the Minnesota players over in this game makes some sense here. Although Dallas has been pretty good defensively the last several months, as we've talked about. Minnesota still the number 1 rated defense in the NBA this year, so a little more comfortable playing Minnesota players over, even though they're on the road here. Karl Anthony Towns was actually benched at one point in game 2. He had only 15 points, but he was 4 for 16 shooting. 4 for 16 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3, still got to 15 points. He can get over 19.5 if he hits anywhere near his norm, which he hasn't done the last 2 games. I get that, but he's taken enough shot attempts. So I do like Karl Anthony Towns over 19.5 points. Anthony Edwards, 19 and 21 the first two games. He's priced at 25.5. Obviously, it is a concern that his number is so big when he's not scoring, but he was only 5 for 17 and 2 for 7 from three-point range. He was, by the way, Karl-Anthony Towns and Edwards were 15 for 17 from the free throw line. That's a good sign. They were getting to the line 17 times. They just weren't hitting the threes. They were combined 3 for 12 and 9 for 33 from the field, and they still ended up with 15 and 21. If they hit anywhere near their normal percentage, they both would have gotten up and over the 19.5 and 25.5. So Karl-Anthony Towns over, Anthony Edwards over, and obviously that probably bodes well for the Timberwolves as the underdog in this game. So they are somewhat correlated. You're not going to put a full unit on each one of these. Just like we talk about with the Super Bowl props, they're probably somewhat correlated. So you might want to back them down if you're playing them all. They're somewhat codependent on each other. But if Anthony Towns and Edwards get over, that probably helps Minnesota as far as the game selection goes as well. Other guys we'll look at in Game 1, Mike Conley was 7 for 14, 18 points. I want to mention Conley because he is on the injury report again. He's listed as questionable for Sunday night. I personally expect him to play, but we need to keep an eye on it. He, of course, missed a few games last series in that series against Denver. Conley is the point guard. He's the floor general. They do have some capable backups, but once again, Conley's a guy we need out there probably for Minnesota to play well. So keep an eye. He is listed as questionable. I expect him to play, but you never know in the NBA. Things could change as I do this video overnight on Saturday. McDaniels, 1 for 6, only 2 points. He's a guy I've liked in recent games, thought he would play better. He had 24 in Game 1, got up and over his total as I predicted. Also had 21 and 23 the last two games against Denver. He had only 2 points in Game 2 the other night. Normally, yes, I would look for a bounce back over 9.5. My concern, though, is that he didn't get a lot of shot attempts. He had in that game on Friday just 6 shot attempts, but he was once again just 1 for 6. So McDaniels over 9.5 would not be opposed to that. That's the way I would play it if you're looking at him. Dallas, let's talk about Doncic. He had a triple-double, 32 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. Monster game the other night, 5 for 11 from 3. Doncic, though, is once again now on the injury report. I believe it's the ankle, knee or ankle. I can't keep track. He's the most banged-up, injured 25-year-old I've ever seen, but he plays great. Once again, I'm not reading much into him being on the injury report. He wasn't there the last couple games. He was there basically all of the games for the previous round, especially against the Clippers, some against OKC. He is banged up, but he's been banged up the whole playoffs. He just had a triple-double, and he played 41.5 minutes. So, yes, Doncic is listed as questionable, but I expect him to be out there. But maybe this is a game, if you're going to fade him, you look to fade him here after back-to-back wins and such a great performance. As I always say, I'm not in a hurry to fade superstars, but once again, I would look for him to regress. I would not be in a hurry to play him over. Let's put it that way here in Game 3. Kyrie Irving, he's had a couple big games. He was held to, 5 points in the first half of Game 2 after having the huge Game 1. He had obviously a big bounce back in Game 1 with 30 points after having some subpar games the previous round against OKC. Held to 5 in Game number 2 in the first half, but then he had 15 in the second half, ended up with 20. He's around 22.5 here again. Pretty much priced where he should be, so I'm actually pretty neutral on Kyrie. But once again, the first two games are any indication, it's Kyrie and Doncic. They're taking a huge amount of the shot attempts. Gafford actually had 16 points, but he was 8 for 10 shooting. He can't shoot any better. 80%. Gafford could be a guy that regresses a little bit. And once again, he's more of a defensive guy since coming over in February. His price is around 8. He's actually had 9 points or more now in 5 straight playoff games. He's had 8 or more in every playoff game this postseason, I believe, going back to the middle of the Clippers. Every game this month, he's had 8 or more. So not looking to fade Gafford after the 16 points. I would like to fade him, but 8's just not low enough, or high enough, rather, even though he was 8 for 10 shooting. So I'll probably stay off of Gafford here in Game number 3. And let's see if there's anybody else we want to talk about. I had some people on WagerTalk today ask Andy Lang and me on Friday. One of the live viewers asked about Tim Hardaway Jr. I think he was around 4 points or so. And I mentioned he was scoreless in Game number 1. Well, he was scoreless in Game 2, and he had only 1 shot attempt and no shot attempts in Game 1, 1 shot attempt in Game 2. A lot of books don't even have props on Hardaway Jr., but he's a guy I would continue to fade as he's taking 1 shot attempt total in the first 2 games. And keep in mind, Dallas has won both games. They don't need to make the adjustments. Minnesota's likely the team to make some changes, and I think it starts with going towards Cat, going toward Anthony Edwards. I like Karl-Anthony Towns over, Anthony Edwards over here in Game 3 if you're looking at player props. All right, deep dive, Game 3, Mavericks, Timberwolves, tonight on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern on TNT, and then I'll be back with your Game 4 preview for tomorrow night, Pacers, Celtics, Game 4 from Monday night. That is officially Memorial Day, but we're celebrating it all weekend here on WagerTalk TV as I continue to thank the veterans, current, active, former, and let's not forget the most important, the ones that gave their life, made the ultimate sacrifice for centuries now to keep this country free. Please comment below if you have a good story. Some great stories, by the way, Saturday. Really love the viewers. I say we have the smartest and honest, smartest and sharpest sports betting viewers, but I think we have some of the most honest viewers too. Love some of the stories we got about memorials for veterans, current and past. If you got a good story, share it. You know, I love reading them. I read all the comments. I reply back. And I know many of you do as well. By the way, I love the support. Thank you for all of you that gave a thumbs up, a like, and a thank you to all the comments for the veterans that chimed in on Saturday. Let's keep it going here. Let's roll in Sunday, and we'll do it again tomorrow on Monday as well here on WagerTalk TV. So comment below. I read all the comments, and so do thousands of others that are watching these videos every day. Thumbs up, like. If you didn't do it earlier, please click a thumbs up, like right now. Boom, do it. Keeps the content free and plentiful. Subscribe and click the bell for instant alerts, you know, when this video goes up each and every morning. And once again, if you want my official best bets for Sunday, baseball and basketball, you can get them daily. Or consider the June special. By June, you get the rest of May, including my best bets today on Sunday for free. On an 80% run in the conference finals, on a 75% baseball and NBA run this week. I'm #1 all-time in the history of WagerTalk, including this season, once again, in NBA profit. And also the free plays are doing quite well. 65% this month on the free plays, and those are last cuts. Additional opinions, not even my best bets. So check out the free play for Sunday. Go get it right now. A lot of daytime baseball, so go there early. And be sure to check out my daily best bets. These are my official client plays. It's quite simple. If I have a play, my clients get it. Doesn't matter which package you have, a 1 month, a 1 year, a 1 day. It doesn't matter. Everybody gets the same plays. They are recapped on my page. You can go back and see the last 20 plays every day and click on analysis to see the breakdown. It's a great way to learn, once again, if you're building your bankroll. Can't afford the best bets? Hey, that's fine. Get the free play every day. Go and watch the last 20 so you can learn and earn and win together here by clicking and reading the analysis. And then when you're ready, take advantage of the special offers we have all the time, including the right now. Get the rest of May, including today, free when you buy June. Or the longer-term package, the full summer special through Labor Day. All sports works up to less than $6 a day, less than $3 a play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. No promo code needed. Get there quicker, though, with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Follow me on Twitter, X, at Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L, at X on Twitter. At Steve Merril, whatever we're calling it nowadays. It's X, but I'm going to still say Twitter X for a little longer. But follow me at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on Twitter and X. I'm also on Instagram. You can follow me on IG along with WagerTalk. Have a great Memorial Day Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow on Memorial Day Monday. We'll keep it going. I'll keep waving the flag. I love the flag. Hey, might pull out the Stars and Stripes bathing suit for tomorrow's video, if I remember. Keep it great, America. Stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV for more great content coming up next. Enjoy the games. I'll talk to you again on Monday.